there! Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're hanging out in the studio, and I have a handful of plants that desperately need some attention. It's that time of year where I'm looking a little closer at all my houseplants and saying, alright, I'll help you out, I have time. So I have just a little handful of plants that we're going to work on today. There's more plants to work on by far. Some plants that are just struggling. I have a lot of trailing plants that need to be cleaned up and rejuvenated. But these ones have been on my radar for a little while because I just feel super bad. This one is looking really good. She lives in our bathroom, in our spare bathroom, and she looks great. But she has never been transplanted, and I've had her for 2 years, and I never even moved her out of the soil that she came to us from the nursery. So I know that this soil is depleted, and she would be happier in a bigger pot and a lot more nutrition in her soil. This is a ZZ. This is ZZ Raven, and it's a dark foliage ZZ. The more sun it gets, the darker it is, and she's in a very low light bathroom. So she's not as dark as she could be. I also know that they like to be a little bit root bound, so she won't get potted up much bigger than she's in, but I do want to give her some fresh soil. This is a Triscanthia, and it is a bunch of little cuttings. It needs to get cut, kind of cleaned up and put in a bigger pot so it can grow, and then we'll do a little trail rejuvenation, and I'll share that with you in a minute. This one also just needs a bigger pot. This is a begonia. It's all flopped over because it's been facing one direction and I haven't been turning it, but it just needs a bigger pot. This one as well. This is a peperomia, and it's just, I think it looks like this because it needs a bigger pot. That's my thought. It just looks disproportioned. Maybe it needs to be pinched to look bushier. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try just a bigger pot for now. So what I have is my trusty bowl that I like to mix all my soil in. And I just have all-purpose potting soil. This is indoor-outdoor potting soil. And then I like to add perlite, a lot of it. Perlite helps facilitate drainage, and I have such high humidity in my home that it's really important that my plants can dry out between times so that they don't mold or get mildewy or anything like that. Alright, so I'm gonna gather some pots for these. They're all just gonna go up one size. They don't need to go up a whole lot, but you can see this one's pretty shallow, and I think this is a 6-inch container, so we'll just let it there's a lot of roots coming out down there. So we want a deeper container and maybe not that much bigger. So we might actually put it in this container. So let's hold off on that. Let's put her in a container. So I have this kind of shallow, wide container that I'm gonna try using. It has a large drain hole. So I'm gonna take a coffee filter and pop it right over the drain hole. We've recently just transplanted a plant out of here. So it's a little bit dirty, but the plant was totally healthy. It just got too big. So we're just gonna put some soil on the bottom there. Create a little bit of a well so that we can take this plant out. I'm going to take this fairy stake out for now. Carefully. Maybe. Oh, it's wrapped. Oops. This plant was flopping over, so I put a stake in it. Let's see what we can do for it here. All right, I'm just gonna take her out gently. You can see the root system isn't very deep. Odd. Okay. Okay. So there we have it. Just put this soil. I do like to have about 1 inch of a lip between the top of the root ball and the top of the container, because I want to make sure that when I water it, the water doesn't spill out. I want it to be nice and snug in there. There's another, we'll see, it kind of opens up now. This at least looks a little bit more proportioned to the size of the plant. So I am pretty happy with that. We'll find a container for her to go in and water her in. A container for her to be staged in, I should say. Because that's not the most beautiful container. All right, so then I'm going to use this one because it's deeper than what the Raven is in now. Just put this tag back in there. That was a... Okay. Then this guy, carefully, without destroying too many of those roots, I hope, pull it out of here. Might have to cut this container. It's pretty full of roots. Okay, got it. Should go in there? I don't know. So definitely ready to move up. I'm just gonna sort of tease the roots a little tiny bit. I do know they like to be root bound, but I want to encourage the roots to start growing down rather than circling, which I'm not seeing very many circling, so that is really good. This has a lot of coconut coir in it. All right, so I'm just gonna, these are all little corums. If you can see that in the top of this, oops, well, I can reroot that. We'll do that in a minute. This one got broken too. It's okay. We can reroot them. The top, you can see all the corms over at the top of the soil. I'm gonna cover those just a little bit, but not a lot. All right, let's see how much soil. Ooh, a lot more. Set it over here. Okay. Now, I don't really mind that coconut coir is in here. The plant is healthy. It's just getting mixed in with the fresh soil. That's too much. Okay, that looks pretty good. And just gonna tuck the soil down around the root ball. All right, so now it has plenty of root space to grow down, and we'll see how she does. All right, then we have this begonia. Old moss around it. So I'm gonna need to grab another container and get some more soil prepped. Now we're going to fill this container up with soil. And we're going to take this guy out, and it's cracking, so we'll see if we have to. So this one has definitely not been watered for a little while. Okay. Some more soil in there. And I'm going to try to correct it a little bit by putting the roots down more on one side. Okay. A little wet now. All right, so then this little guy, this is trash. You can see it's all broken up. All right, so then I have this little guy. I also have these ZZ things. We'll take care of those in a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and put this Triscanthia in this container. So we just make a little well, move all these. I did water this one earlier today, so it's a little damp. Just gonna pop it right in there like that. And they break so easy. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's just talk about this one for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off any dead leaves. Really easy, just pinch them off. This one is, okay. So these were little cuttings from another plant, and we just popped them in the soil. The trick to not having a bare crown like this is to continuously come in. This one's not very good. And we just take a little piece of the trailing plant. We take off the bottom couple of leaves, and then we're just gonna bury all of this, maybe not this one because it's crooked. I'm gonna put all of this in the soil. So I just stick my finger in there and put that stem in and tap the soil down around it. And I'll just keep doing that with any of these that popped off already. You want like a good, healthy, thick, fleshy stem opposed to one that's already kind of dried up. And the more of these like little knuckles that you could get in the soil, the more roots you're gonna get on that stem. Okay, now the rest of these are attached. But what I want to do now, because I need some plants on the crown, I'm just going to cut the really long ones off. I'm going to take off a couple of the bottom leaves. I can put this whole trailer in there, or I can divide it up and put this in there so that it's like standing more upright and filling in the crown. And I'm just going to take off a couple of the weaker stems. So now the top has more foliage and just looks a little healthier. You just have to make sure that they stay good and moist as they are developing roots. So actually really love the purple inside of the white. Let's see if that fits. Perfect. Nothing's getting pinched. All right. There we go. Lovely. All right, and so then this one got done. Just needs to be watered. Now we have these cuttings from the ZZ. They broke off. One of them I cut off. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a couple in water and I'm going to put a couple in soil and see which ones root in faster. So I had where is it? Oh. I had this little tiny one from the Triscanthia. We're just going to fill it up with soil. See if I have just enough, maybe. Just going to make 3 little wells. My finger here. Like that. And then I'm just going to pop these right inside as deep as I can. And then I'm going to press the soil down around them. And they should root in pretty easy. These ones I can put in a glass vase. I'll put it in a cute vase or something. Let's see. Just put a little water in there. And we'll pop these guys in there and see how they do. All right. Let's see. Do any of these fit in here? Probably not. No. All right, so this one is actually gonna go out in my living room. So we'll take that out in a little bit. That one will go back in the bathroom. That one goes there. Find some containers that look... I'm gonna need to go container shopping. All my plants are getting bigger and I don't have good, beautiful containers for them to get staged in. So we're not going to stage these today. We will just put them back in their spaces. Like it doesn't fit there anymore. Maybe this one would fit in here. Okay, this one fits in here. Excellent. So, put this here, and that's fine. This. All right. I'm gonna definitely need a container for this, but I need a drip tray for now. A drip tray for that. Okay. Okay. All right, well, let's at least get everybody watered in. This water has fertilizer, it has this Espoma Grow fertilizer in it. I don't always water with fertilizer in the winter, but when I transplant, I like to give the plants a little extra boost. We want to make sure that the soil is all settled in, so everybody's getting a little more water than they normally would, to make sure there's no air pockets. I need to give this guy water. And this one. Okay, very good. And I think I'm just gonna let this, like my little fairy in there. Okay, she could be there, but not. Let's see what happens. Okay. Doesn't really fit there either. Have to do some rearranging. Okay, so then this is gonna go out in the living room. We'll just leave this here and see if it grows any roots. And this will go back in the bathroom, and I'll have to find some pretty containers because I don't have any for that size that are not being used at this time. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.